Hey y'all. Boy, have we got something to talk about today, and that is our friend Asmongold, the ever so popular streamer who found his way to the limelight through World of Warcraft and more recently Just Chatting. Let's not discount any benefits that he got one way or another from certain relationships he might have had. But this time he's in the news for something else, and this time it's something not so great. But I say this time like Asmongold is some sort of stranger to controversy, but he's really not. Except for this one is really bad. Asmongold goes off on Gaza over the Palestine-Israel conflict. What? Courtesy of Drama Alert, which is also courtesy of Asmongold, of course, because where else would the clip come from?
If you want to consider a genocide as a systematic killing of a group of people, they have genocide built into Sharia law right now. So no, I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided.
I've got to say this is a particularly bad take, right? Just because somebody's doing a bad thing doesn't mean a bad thing should happen to them. Two wrongs basically never make a right. You can't really prove your point by doing the same thing to somebody else. And that's just a fact of life.
I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. It's not even a question. It's crazy that people don't see it that way.
Well, what's crazy to me is that you wouldn't have the forethought to think that saying something like this might be a bad thing. And you know, Asmongold always prides himself on being the thoughtful one, the logical one, the one that thinks a little bit further beyond. Except for this time, it's like his brain turned into fucking mush. In what world would it make sense to say something like this online, in public, or in general? You want to say something fucked up like that to your friends? More power to you. But the moment you start making that a public opinion and you start pushing that stuff onto others, you fucked up.
And how much did they kill? As many as they can. They're not able to kill as many people as Israel because they don't have as many bombs and as many weapons. But if they did, they'd be doing the same thing. These people are not your allies. They are not the same as us.
And they're not like us. They come from a different background and different culture, so he's right. Except for the fact that he follows it up with,
they come from an inferior culture that is horrible, it kills people for their identity, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways.
Ooh, I kind of love the fact that Asmongold decides to say that, because that's a hot take coming from a guy who lives in a rat's nest like this. That's a hot take coming from a guy who refuses to bathe regularly. I have little to no empathy to whatever happens to Asmongold after this, and I say this as somebody who actually enjoyed Asmongold's content. When I was playing a lot of World of Warcraft, I'd love to have Asmongold's videos up on the next monitor next to me. If I was learning about lore or the expansions or anything like that, I'd always go to Asmongold first. And if I needed a raiding buddy, I always at least have one with Asmongold on the other monitor. I'd be damned if this wasn't the beginning of the end for Asmongold, OTK, and Starforge. Just kidding. Asmongold's gaming PC company now has partners quitting allegedly. Again, courtesy of Drama Alert. At Detective Seed says, I'm no longer partnered with Starforge Systems PC. I've requested that my code be removed from usage after a year of partnership due to the comments made by Asmongold, who is one of the owners. I have Muslim friends from that region, and I cannot represent that product after his comments. And the calls to ban Asmongold have been fast and furious to say the least. Let's take a look at this tweet from Casey Tron where she lists out some of the guidelines that Asmongold directly violated. Suggests that a victim of a hate crime deserve to be harmed. Incite or promote violence against a protected group. Content that perpetuates a recognized negative stereotype about a protected group as greedy or unintelligent. Content suggesting that protected group members are subhuman, inhuman, or impure. Content insinuating that individuals with certain protected characteristics are criminals or terrorists. Content that implies that another contemporary culture is primitive. God damn, this keeps going on. Statements dismissing an entire group. Example, I don't like protected group. I've heard of that group. Conspiracy theories that individuals or groups are evil, corrupt, or malicious based on protected characteristics. And statements suggesting that a protected characteristic makes an individual more likely to be criminal and or terrorist. Casey makes a lot of good points here, but you know who made an even better point is the one and only Dark Viper AU. The absolute madman of Twitter, dissecting and disassembling reaction and commentary channels from all walks of life. Maybe me one day too. But Matteo says the degradation of Asmongold as a person and his content is something that should be studied. In his early career, he was edgy but a harmless doofus. Now he might actually have a mental illness. Compare this small sample from 4 years apart.
I don't want to get into like the politics stuff because the thing is that we're not going to have a conversation in good faith about this, okay? Everybody's already got their mind made up, and the people that are actually genuinely out there looking to make an opinion are probably socially adjusted well enough to where they would never watch my stream. So it would just be a waste of time.
And then Dark Viper follows it up with a tweet from Zach, aka Asmongold, whatever you want to call him. You all know who I'm talking about. You saw the title. But it's just after the October 7th attack. It was on October 11th, and he says, "Weird as fuck to see so many people coming out with statements about the Israel/Palestine conflict as if they need to comment on it. Can we please stop this weird culture around expecting people with no relevant background or education to talk about world events/politics?" So you're telling me that within almost 1 year to the date that you've completely changed your point of views and started spouting out those bullshit views. Very nice. Very, very nice. As YouTubers are known to do, Asmongold comes out with his beautiful, perfect, crisp apology. Just kidding, it was a piece of shit. Looking back on it, I was way too much of an asshole about the Palestine thing. My bad. Of course, no one deserves to have their life destroyed, even if they do things or have views that I find regressive. You guys deserve more than me saying stupid shit like that. I'll do better. Boy, that seems awfully self-aware, doesn't it? I mean, come on, you had so much gusto and energy in the way that you were proclaiming and shooting off hate towards groups of people in the middle of a conflict. Regardless of the way you feel about the conflict, these are people that are involved in the conflict, many of whom have nothing to do with what's going on, and they are dying because of that. So I feel like when you had the energy to do that, maybe you should have had a little bit more energy when you did this. Maybe a video or something like that. That probably would have been good. Brooke AB from 100 Thieves posts a tweet that says children constitute approximately 43% of the total population in Palestine, 41% in the West Bank, and 47% in Gaza Strip. And then she tags Twitch and Twitch support and says this is just straight up racism. Do something. Well, Brooke, CaseyTron, and every other streamer and commenter who is hoping and calling for the ban, may today be your blessed day, because it looks like Asmongold was banned on his Zach Rohr account. Good on Twitch for doing the right thing. We can't allow bigotry to be normalized. So let's go check it out, and sure enough, this channel is temporarily unavailable due to a violation of Twitch's community guidelines or terms of service.
Oh my god! Wow!
It should be worth noting that Asmongold's main account, actual Asmongold, this is actually still here. I would imagine it's because he probably said those comments on the Zach Rohr account, which he seems to be streaming from mostly. I actually can't recall the last time I saw Asmongold, the Asmongold account live. And you know, it's not like the Zach Rohr account, as far as I know. It never got partnered. It never even got affiliate status. There was no sub button, bit button. So I don't know how much of his revenue is going to be affected by that specific part of it. Obviously, Starfort Systems is probably going to have some trouble, and I imagine OTK is probably going to have some issues too. But as far as how this is all going to affect Asmongold beyond this and beyond the initial reactions and repercussions, time will only tell. Let me know your thoughts about the whole Asmongold controversy. Drop your comments down below. Let me know what you think. And if you like the way I tell these stories, make sure you hit the like button and hit subscribe. It'd be much appreciated from the bottom of my heart. But hey, do me a favor, before you go, check out this video right here. I think you're gonna like it.